Hello and welcome to Comics Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Good evening.
Good evening. Your Tuesday night edition of your slightly over half-hour comedy show, sorting out all the problems across the world based in the UK. So a shout out to anyone who's not in the UK, shout out to anyone who is in the UK. If you're down in Sussex, big shout out to you after a ton of cocaine was found on your shores by some walkers in Sussex.
Whoa.
That was in the news today. Also a big shout out to Yorkshire, which is probably where those walkers have got to by now. Wouldn't take them long, would it? So what we're going to do is look at the news, find the problems, solve it, boom, have a laugh along the way, and really we'll find out it's not about the solution, it's about the journey, or something like that. As we plough on through doing this, you can get involved. There is the chat happening on YouTube, so you can get yourself in that direction, would be a good way of doing it. Also, there'll be a Ko-fi thing later on I'll mention, but let's not make it awkward. Let's not talk about that at the start.
It's not awkward. It's fine.
Yeah, you will be throwing your money at us by the end of it for some reason. And also, if you've pre-bought tickets, big shout out to you. Get yourself a drink, sit down. This is your evening's entertainment. Live.
Relax.
It's unbelievable. All that pre-recorded stuff that's good that you could watch. Nah, mate. Live.
Don't remind them.
Oh yeah, it's not on right now. They got rid of the BBC or something. We'll talk more about that later. You can put any problems you like in the chat. We might get to solve those as well. Any comments that you have should end up there. And I think we are nicely up to date, other than the usual things that people say on YouTube. Smash the like button, subscribe,
Smash it.
and all that stuff.
Pound it, I think I saw the other day. Pound the like button.
Did someone actually say that? Pound the like button.
They should.
And then wipe down your keyboard, you dirty bugger. So, I think we're all set. Mr. Eric McElroy, what have you got for us?
The problem of when to kiss a chicken.
It's a very good question.
It's an important question. It's a common question. Have you ever kissed a chicken?
Not that I know of. Does that make me sound cool?
The fact that you had to pause. There's some bird out there. I don't know where.
Kiss.
I don't remember when. Have you ever felt that sharp beak press against your lips? Felt the smooth feathers run across your cheek or your testicles? It's sublime. It's sublime, Steve. But it might be something that you shouldn't do anymore.
Good.
Because of this. Salmonella, Steve. The CDC is urging Americans not to kiss chickens amid an outbreak. That's right. Turns out those chicken masks weren't a good idea after all. Figure, it's not getting colder. Plus, it made you wake up really early. It's a terrible combination. It's a bad idea. It's a real thing that's happening, and if you look into the article here, you can see, do not, according to the CDC, kiss or snuggle the birds, as this can spread germs to your mouth and make you sick. Only if you're doing it right, Steve.
Oh,
only if you're doing it right. I mean, that's got to be interesting. You know, if you're at the CDC and you end up, imagine that, you're working at the CDC, you're thinking, oh, am I going to work on COVID? Am I going to work on this pandemic that's happening? That's a really big deal. Am I going to be like Dustin Hoffman in Outbreak? That's the role that made me want to get into this business in the first place. Oh, they're handing out staff assignments. I'll wait. Oh, that's the pandemic. Okay, yeah. Oh, you're getting okay, yeah, that's important. You know, sexually transmitted diseases. That's cool. What do I get? Chicken kissers? Are you shitting me? But it is a big problem. I mean, we got some big chickens to kiss, Steve.
Wow.
As you can see here. I wouldn't mind being the chicken. Where they're tiny. There's some chicks in that photo. Can we say that anymore? I don't know if we can say that.
We can't say anything we do on the show, so I wouldn't worry about it. Don't narrow it down.
That's right. That's right. Fine. We know it's a big problem now. Scientists have said so. CDC are the scientists. Armed with that information, what happens when the CDC says something is bad for you and it gets to a place called Fox News?
Well, like all obedient Americans, we're pretty dialed into what the CDC has to say about our lives. Every day we check for new guidance, and we have new guidance. For once, it has nothing to do with the coronavirus. This guidance from the CDC is about chickens.
That's right. If you don't know Tucker, who that was Tucker Carlson, you're lucky. Tucker's a white supremacist vaccine denier and a douche who gives douches a bad name.
Oh.
But let's see where he goes with this chicken in the fox hen house.
Now, that raises the question, who are these chicken touchers out there that the CDC is concerned about? And we're not judging as we ask that. We just would like to know. Are there people in this country who snuggle chickens? There are. And again, not judging. We found one. Here she is.
That's right. We don't judge the chicken touchers. We just judge the people who aren't white or gay or different than us, because they're coming. They're all coming for you. Now, we're at a crossroads at this point in the story, because Tucker could go two different ways with this. And we're going to know immediately when we see the chicken kisser he's going to present to us. Is he going to present somebody who's liberal, unattractive, hippie? Or then we know that's the direction they're going to go with the chicken toucher story. Or they're going to go the other way, and they're going to find some sexy chicken lover. That's the kind of chicken lover we might have. Let's see.
My name is Tara. I'm 27, and I'm a chicken enthusiast. I love you so much. My chickens are like my babies.
Okay. You can see what they've gone with there. Yeah, they've gone with that. I love my chickens. I want it just so good. I just want to have them with my potato salad. Takes baths with her and the live chickens and the potato salad. So they've gone with the sexy chicken lady. We can see that now. How is that going to square up with the official CDC science now?
Tara Solem is the chicken enthusiast you just saw. We're happy to have her on tonight. It feels like you've been singled out by the CDC for criticism. How does that feel?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. They're not trying to stop a salmonella outbreak. They've come after you, chicken lady. That's what they were waiting for. That's what all the scientists were thinking. How could we stop the lady who's rubbing her bits on the chicken giblets?
God. Oh, giblets has never made me feel so ill in my life. That was the perfect sentence for it.
All right, she works with animals, so she's going to have a reasonable response to this, right? No.
Why do you think there's the concern now? Why are they coming after you now, the CDC?
I think that maybe they're just looking for something else to control. And I'm not a huge fan, and I don't support it. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep loving on my birds. And
she's going to keep loving on my birds. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that she's not vaccinated. I'm just going to guess that. At least not against anything that would count for what she's been doing. I mean, she's probably also got a dog with rabies going, he bites, but that's just how he shows his love. Now, you might think that I'm making fun of her unfairly. But then there's more.
I have one special chicken. Her name is Sheila. She stays in my room with me. She does everything with me. This is Sheila. This is my one true love.
I would imagine her boyfriend was sitting off camera going, "Excuse me? I don't get to brush my teeth with you." Now, it's a little bit, let's just be honest. No matter how you feel about the lady, no matter how you feel about your chickens, if you keep chickens and you keep them clean, I guess it's okay to kiss them. However, that's a lot of intensity for Sheila. So we reached out and we couldn't reach Sheila for comment, but we did reach Sheila's brother. And we've got him. His name is Chuck, and he's right here.
You gotta do something to help my sister Sheila. Like, she goes in there, and the master takes her into her bed, and we don't see her for days, and she comes out, and, her feathers are ruffled, and her eggs come out funny.
He's from New York. He's from upstate. Yeah. Now, before we go, I do think I understand why Tucker Carlson had her on the show, because he clearly had an agenda and he had one burning question that he wanted to ask her.
Someone told me that chickens are so dumb, if you face them in a corner, they can't get out. Is that true?
Clearly Tucker has had that problem. Clearly Tucker has been walking along and found himself in the corner going, "Oh my God. What do I do now? There's walls on either side of me. I can back up and I can go in again. I can back up and I can go in again." Tucker is the chicken in this particular
Beautiful.
little thing Now, he asks her that question, and her response to it is what I think is the kind of the classic denial, non-denial. See if you catch it.
Whoever made that up has something against birds, and it's not true at all. They know exactly what to do. Sometimes they get stuck in corners, but for the most part, they can figure it out.
That is totally not true. I mean, they do get stuck in corners all the time. I don't really want to talk about it, but that's where I catch Sheila.
Wowzers.
So there we go.
At the deep.
Greatest country on earth.
Is it, though? I mean, firstly, in reverse order, In the Corner would be a great name for a spin-off section that he should be doing on Fox News.
Yeah.
It just seems like get people who are so entrenched that they'll never change their extreme positions. Just in the corner.
Facing the wrong
with
way.
Tucker
In the corner.
Carlson. Perfect. She's a very attractive lady, and that first video did make me think maybe I should dress up as a chicken. I would have been up for that. I could have walked around just doing the whole.
You could. Would you go as far as going all in chicken? Would you go to there? Would you do
I'd
it?
be all in there, and I'd be doing the old double OK sign. Ooh, that's right.
That's right.
But I do like the phrase chicken toucher out of all of it. I know it's more about kissing, but through most of that, my brain was trying to work out if I would be able to say, I'm not a chicken toucher, I'm a chicken toucher's son. I'm only touching chickens till the chicken toucher comes. Oh, boy!
Whoa! And that was not rehearsed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to say that's worth a Kofi right there.
Yep. Kofi,
That is spontaneous
Was it?
diction.
So I've just done a tongue twister about chicken touchers. The word spontaneous was too much for you.
It was a lot for me.
It's a big word. It's a big word.
It's a big word. It's a big
Also,
word.
if you have spare time later, go back and watch the rerun of this show, and you can probably just see me practicing my mouth. Not a chicken. See that happening.
Every time there was a clip away, you were just like, oh, I'm going to get this out there. I've been waiting all my life for Chicken Tucker to go on Tucker Carlson, so Eric talks about it, and then I can do my Chicken Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker. Just get the giblets in there. You can get giblets in.
They were weird giblets on that roostery thing at the end. And also, I love the fact we reached out to Sheila, but managed to get a male counterpart because we couldn't do the voice. Brilliant.
To be honest, it was just the first clip of a chicken I found.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think my voice is probably high enough, especially according to every call center I've ever spoken to in my life. Yes, ma'am. No, this is not a ma'am.
Good God. You should do your Billy Bob voice. That's the only way you'll get respect in this world.
Billy Bob. You gotta love Billy Bob. Right, let's jump into the comments here and see what people thought of the old chicken. We got some evening Tom, and Eric. Top chat is right from the start, so that's optimistic. Somebody coming, I can't talk today. Somebody coming in from Twitch. We're still on Twitch.
Oh, yeah, from we started, because we get like one person watch it on Twitch. They're probably gone already, but...
Tack line is there. So evening, if you're still with us.
Yeah. Come over to
Chris
YouTube.
Curleen.
Subscribe.
Yeah, come to YouTube. Chris Curleen says, thank goodness it's Sunday again. What a way to start a week. You were going to confuse people, guys. I understand there's a running joke here, but Jesus. Evening all, or is it lunchtime? Happy Easter from Mark. Chris says, Thursday already. I've missed my blood test then. Oh, dear. Mr. Hood, I hope you're okay.
Oh, so that's the result.
Is that the result?
Oh. Hey?
Huh? All right.
I'm doing
I don't know how
blood
to pronounce.
types. I'm doing blood type jokes.
I don't know what Keith means by no swathy DDA.
I'll have a look. Where is that?
No swath. Do you understand?
Oh,
No swath.
no swath DDA. I think that's Welsh, because I know Keith's Welsh and I can't understand it. Ergo,
There you go.
Northwish didad.
And maybe that's about the. That might be about the coke. We're back here at the cocaine found in Sussex, found by walkers. Britt says normally that amount of coke is found around wankers.
Do you know what, Britt?
Nice.
Do you know what? I'll let you into a little bit of a secret. I try and write a topical one-liner to open the Tuesday night show and didn't today. And we read that story with a minute left or
The
something?
countdown was on. Yeah.
And I can't, Britt, if I knew you could write it for me, you could have saved me the hassle. I could have done that joke.
Send them in.
Send them in and make it easier for me.
Send them in. Tracy says evening. Ibagit says LOL Brit. So Brit's getting more laughs than we are at this stage. That's not encouraging. You can send, well, if you send us money, we'll just pass it on to Brit. So we won't. Sorry, Brit.
Not that brilliant,
Stephen says, I wasn't feeling up to pounding the like button. I have pensed it instead.
Oh,
Thank you very much, Stephen. That's very much appreciated and very delicate. Chris Curling says, chickens. We're back on the chap with the chicken sex doll then.
yes.
That's true.
He's
There's been a lot of chickens. We have the chicken masseuse, the chicken sex doll, and now the chicken toucher.
I'm not a chicken toucher. I'm a chicken toucher's son.
You couldn't get through it a second
I'm
time,
not
could
try
you?
it. No, there's no way I'll try it again. Why ruin it?
Bearberg says, morning. Chris Hood says, kiss a chicken, gargle chlorine, sorted. You're welcome, America. Because we chlorinate our chickens. That's why she can make love to the... It's a chlorinated live chicken.
Yeah, of
It
course.
doesn't live for long.
In America, you should just chlorinate anything you're about to make love to. That's what they all say.
Yeah, definitely. Britt says, don't worry, the chicken masseuse lady on the previous show always washes her hands. As for the chicken sex dolls, she'll need a full check-up after kissing those.
Oof.
That's a happy ending waiting to happen. With the pecking, though.
No pecking. We all know that's the
No
rule.
pecking.
If you
And they
pay
got the
for
sharp
it,
claws.
no pecking.
Look, it's something you only do once. Keith Foster says, chicken, Fox News, the irony. You know what, Keith? I only realized that as I was reading the story out for the first time. I had not planned on doing a Fox chicken joke until I was actually saying it live, going, how could I have missed that?
It's been a long day. You know, it's not our only job.
It's a long day, and that's what's great about doing it live. You can sit and write jokes, but it's just like wanking. It's always better with other people. Mark says, in some southern states, a chicken snuggler is also known as your girlfriend / sister. He's added layers to the joke.
Nice.
Yeah,
Chicken
it's good.
layers.
They added that. Chicken layers. Britt says, have you ever tried the KFC double chicken sandwich where there's no bun, there's just the two pieces of chicken?
No, but I'm into that. I'm not really a bun kind of guy.
I know, I've not tried that, but I want to. Anyway, a couple more chicken bits and then we'll get on. Chicken snuggling, that's why they won't let me back in Tesco.
Hey-oh! Needs to be on the T-shirt.
Chicken Lady is perfect for Fox, says Mark. That was Brett who said the Tesco line. Chicken Lady is perfect for Fox News. She's blonde, she's Republican, she's used to dealing with dumb creatures.
Nice. Could have gone with Cox. Works either way. Beautiful.
It's good. Yeah, I would have gone for the Cox.
I'm amazed you didn't do a cock joke in there as well. As much as we pointed out you should have done a chicken and fox one, I thought you would have been like, you know, some sort of...
I know. I did douche because it's an American insult. Because we don't call people douchebags here.
Not really, no. But I do like the insult. It's nice.
I think we're too close to France. Another Twitch. We're taking off on Twitch now, finally. Mick1971 says, loving on my birds. Oh, Lord.
That was gross, wasn't it? I mean, it's a way of basting them, I guess, but God.
Oh, that's too much. We've got some cross chat here, and then Bayerberg says, I'm not going to touch the subject of stroking chickens. I'm better than that.
Oh, we're not. We'll do those.
We're not. And blue collar chicken method. Thank you. And Tracy says, ooh, nope, chicken touchers. That's it. Roast chicken is off the menu for Sunday dinner.
Oh, well, I won't come round then. What a
So,
way to find out.
Yeah, I think we've nearly caught up with all the comments. If you can, the like button is there as always. And if you enjoy any of this, or if you don't enjoy any of this, subscribe to the channel, because then eventually we get to do a pin chat, or put some money in our Ko-fi, and we appreciate it, and it keeps us, because I just found out the big set of gigs I was going to be doing in June, the club's probably canceled.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, most of the gigs I had in have already cancelled. It's fun to watch things we put in and get taken out.
It's a little bit of hope.
Yeah, hope is what ruins it eventually. Look,
Yeah, that's fine.
things are getting better. Like the coffee shops are opening, which is why today's Pocket Square is from Costa.
Nice.
That's better than the Socket Square. That's a napkin, absorbent. You never know when you need it.
That's why you need the Ko-fi to get your coffee.
On my coffees. So yeah, keep the comments coming through. Keep the Ko-fis in the pot would be very much appreciated. However, I've got a problem. I'm going to have a crack at solving it for you if you'd be up for it. How do we solve the problem of what's happening with Belarus? Not a topic for comedy, I'm aware of that, so strap in. We heard the news that Belarus they hijacked a Ryanair plane to get that journalist, someone who was not a friend of the current leader. So, and it was a Ryanair flight. In fact, we've got a picture of, there it is, there's a picture of the actual Ryanair plane so this is the thing about this. They're after one journalist, but that plane could have up to 400 people who have been through a terrifying, disturbing and upsetting ordeal that they may never recover from. And on top of that, they were hijacked. It's a Ryanair joke. Ew. There's another one of those coming very soon, don't you worry. Because, look, it was a Ryanair flight. And, have you been on? You must have been on Ryanair for gigs, yeah?
Yeah.
One thing I like about Ryanair is when it lands, people clap, and there's that sense of like, oh, thank God we landed. And I wonder if even though they knew that they'd effectively been hijacked for political reasons, they probably still clapped. Like, oh, these are people, they're not friendly, but, oh, we're not in the air anymore. We'll have some of that. If you take a look at the flight plan of what happened to the plane that was hijacked, we can see took off in Greece down the bottom. And it was so close to arriving in Lithuania where it was meant to arrive. It was diverted and then moved across to Minsk. And I think most people would look at that and think, oh, so close. And Ryanair would look at that and be, oh, you just need a connecting coach. Oh, we've almost got it there. And that's as close to that accent as I can do. So it's been a terrible time, especially for the journalist in question. Some of the coverage of what's been happening to him, we don't know if he's been tortured or treated well or not. I mean, there's a story where he's done this video, and look at it. He looks less comfortable in front of a webcam than we do, and that is saying something. We've got someone saying that wouldn't be surprised if the detained journalist was forced to make a confession. And this confession that he confessed to, do you know the crime that he's confessed to? He's admitted that he has organised a protest. Helped to organise a protest. And that's a crime? You are straight up shitting me. In this country, someone says something about a mask. Protest. Someone says something about, there's a statue. And yet, for some you organise a protest over there, probably death penalty, I guess. That's what's going to happen. Ridiculous. Yep. That is a country so near. But we shouldn't be shocked. I know I'm sounding shocked. We shouldn't be shocked because the guy who's in charge is Alexander Lukashenko. He has been in charge, he's been the first president and reigning. I like that. He's never lost one yet, unbeaten. And it really helps to not lose an election if you're totally fixing them. And it's such a shame because his political opponents have disappeared. He's been fixing elections. And I hoped that he was going to be one of the good guys so he could bring the comb-over back in. Because as a bald chap, it'd be nice to live in that era. Like my dad spent all of his life as a bald man being able to wipe it over. And that's all I wanted. Am I asking too much? I really do think I'm the victim in this story, yeah.
Yeah, it is about you. Definitely all about you.
So Lukashenko, running this corrupt, is a despot in charge of a murderous regime. And yet somehow, even though it's a state that seems to be hated by so many people, in the 2019 Eurovision Song Contest, they got 31 points and we got 11. We're less popular than Belarus. Oh my days. Now, I know that when it comes to complaining about these things, maybe I've not got the right target here, but it goes deep because there was an issue with the voting. All right, the Belarusian jury was dismissed following the revelation of their votes in the first semi-final, which is contrary to the rules. So now, and again, I realise if you're talking about Lukashenko and you're complaining about a rigged vote, and you're talking about Eurovision, again, I realise there are bigger fish to fry, but I'm still upset about what happened at this year's Eurovision. I know we hated, but are we last? Now, it doesn't mean that Belarus did better than us in this year's Eurovision. They weren't in it. So that's not so bad, I guess. And the reason they weren't in it is also quite interesting. Last year's one was cancelled. There was some sort of virus went around. And they had a musical act called Val, which was meant to represent them. It was cancelled. The reason they weren't brought back is because in the August 2020 presidential election over there, Val supported opposition candidate and therefore are now dead. So, shame, innit? We didn't say on Wikipedia that they're dead, but they're dead. They're dead. Yeah. Some witnesses, because these Eurovision singers, some witnesses said they heard painful screams and torturous noises, so they're dead. Or practicing. It's difficult to know. So that's because I think it's probably for the best that Belarus didn't get to do this year's Eurovision. It was banned because it was too much of a political song. And I think they're right, because if you listen, I've got a copy of their entry, and if you listen to the version of the song that they were going to do this year, yeah, probably wouldn't have been appropriate. Come land with me, let's land you over there. If you don't land, we have a plan, we'll claim it's a bomb scare. Come land with me, a hijack in the air. Come land with me, there's nothing you can do. We've got a jet and you can bet its guns are aimed at you. Detention might not seem that very fair, they say, but come land with me. It's better than being on Ryanair. Worth the copyright strike.
Nice.
So,
you think?
yeah.
You think we'll get a copyright strike for that?
Every other parody one I've been doing has been getting flagged for them. So
Very nice.
We're up to date with Belarus, a topic not for comedy. Right, where do we get to in the comments? I'll put the YouTube
Just
thing.
glad we didn't see your lips coming through any animals or chicken nuggets or anything else in that. That's appreciated.
You wait. You wait till the
Oh,
second
no.
story.
No. There we go.
So where do we get to? We've seen your blue-collar chicken method. That was good.
Yep.
So the next bunch was Brit, back on the chicken topic, says you can buy little sunglasses for chickens to stop them pecking each other, slash their feathers out. And they look pretty cool. Is that why it is? Like, you can't wear sunglasses and be
chicks.
that much of a douche. Like, pretty cool.
Yeah. Because then you're busy just going like this instead of pecking other people. You're like, hey, hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing? How you doing?
iBoggart said, read an article, said Natural Born Killers bloke wore those glasses as a nod to the chicken thing. And Simon says, yo-yo to you.
Yo-yo.
Brit, when your job goes in, out, shake it all about, you know it's 2021. Fair enough.
Okay.
Bayerberg, the West has a moral conundrum. How hard to condemn Alexander Lukashenko for... I could never get around to pronouncing this guy's name. I've been broadcasting all day and avoiding it. For detaining the journalist when Julian Assange rots in prison. The irony is palatable. Yeah, but I did a song, so...
Yep. And Julian Assange isn't a journalist.
Yeah, I didn't do a song about him either. So... Chris
That's
Curling.
going to cost us a support there, isn't it? I love Julian Assange. He's great.
Yeah.
I believe in him.
Just his surname doesn't rhyme with enough stuff.
Oh,
Assange.
that's why.
That's
That's why I've never trusted him.
been holding me back.
Assange.
One thing I didn't like about my Ryanair flight was the outside toilet, says Chris. Do you reckon Michael O'Leary charged Belarus for the extra fuel used, says Mick 1971. Yep. Brit says, it's not a comb over. That's been set for added shine and protection with T-cut. Ooh, yeah. It keeps... Well, it means you can take it out in the rain. Chris reckons it might be a knit comb over. And Chris Curling says, crooner method. Well, thank you.
That's a new
Auto-tuned
method.
the arse out of it.
Did you? No.
Yeah. Chris says it's as if Frank's in the room. But then Mark says Frank Spencer. Thank you.
Oh.
Nikki M. Gosh, what a terrible song. Can see why they didn't get in.
I think that's a backhanded compliment.
Is it very like a slap across the face, like that kind of? Thank you for that
But
backhanded
it's
compliment.
buying into the concept so much that it's explaining why they didn't get to be in Eurovision.
Explaining the
because the song
concept
is
so
so-
well, it still hurts.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a Eurovision winner. There, says Tracy. Nice work, Steve. That's more like it.
Yep.
That's how you buy into it. And Mark says Assange blancmange. All right, we're starting something here.
Uh-oh. Sorry.
And then Mark says Assange orange. Nothing rhymes with orange. That's
That's a known thing.
a known thing.
It's a thing.
And then Nikki M says, I like T-cut. All right there, that'll be really getting the small talk going. Are you available at a dinner party soon? Because I'd love to sit next to someone who goes, I like T-cut.
I don't.
And then I bog it. Do you know what T-cut is? Just wax for a car. It's a really good wax for a car.
Oh, could use some of that.
Yeah, gets
I'm a
into
chicken.
If you've got little scratches, it kind of fills them in a way that makes it look like there's no scratches there. It's great.
Right.
iBoggit says, I prefer bitter. You don't want to put bitter on your car, iBoggit. You're never going to get rid of the scratches that way. What's going on in this comment section? It's a mess. Look, thank you for the comments. Keep it coming through. If you're enjoying the show enough to throw some money in our direction, there is a Ko-fi link. It would be very much appreciated. Oh, just noticed Charlotte's just said, my ears, my ears, my ears. Now I feel sick. Loving the singing way. Good work.
And Tracy has made a very generous donation to Ko-fi, and we're glad that we were able to give you a laugh today. So
thank you.
We appreciate that, especially on today, Tracy. So we're thinking about you on that. Do we need to get into another problem?
Yeah, can do. Yeah, I'll wrap up these just because.
Okay.
Chris says mine's a Scotch, and then Nikki says I didn't know that. I don't know what Nikki didn't know. Whether Chris's is a Scotch. Again, it's an interesting comment section. We'll make more sense of it next time, maybe. But keep them coming through on the youtube.com/comic solving problems, where you should be subscribed. But indeed, Mr. Eric McElroy would say, what's your next problem?
Yeah, and before we go on, make sure you destroy the like button. Is that a good YouTuber?
That was really good.
Coming up, there'll be more. You have to watch because we need more percentage of viewers. Anyway, we don't care about you. I've been watching way too many YouTube videos about this stuff.
Watching YouTube videos about YouTube videos.
Should do it. They're very popular. Mm-hmm. But that's not our problem. This is our problem, Steve. This is the problem of having time to write a book when you're prime minister and there's a global once-in-a-century pandemic on. It's a problem that we've all had because we've been inflicted with the repercussions of that problem, of the person doing that, essentially. And of course, if you don't know the story already, I'm talking about this. Number 10 has denied that Boris Johnson missed emergency COVID meetings to write his Shakespeare biography. Now, do we think this is true? That he was writing a Shakespeare biography, or that he was missing meetings to write the Shakespeare biography? What does your gut tell you based on the last year and a half of COVID mismanagement in the United Kingdom of the COVID response?
Part of me thinks surely no one would miss an emergency meeting to write a book on Shakespeare because Shakespeare is not getting any more dead. So, no, surely this couldn't possibly happen.
Yeah, you think, why would he be spending time on that when he could be spending time on being the job that he's allegedly wanted all his life? And then you read a little bit further to find out it was reported that he was left facing losing his advance because he's put off writing the book since 2015 when he got 2 payments of £98,000. And the book hasn't been written yet. And you know what? That wallpaper, as we have learned, does not pay for itself. Other people can pay for it, but then you have to pay them back once it gets found out that you've done that. And of course, there's a problem with all those fucking kids that we don't even know about. I'm maybe, because in researching this, I found out Boris Johnson has actually written quite a few books. Maybe those are his children. He probably loves them more. But I'm thinking, why Shakespeare, right? We know we're going to go through some of the books he's written in a second, but this is the first time he's gone that far back in history, based on the books that I saw that he's written. I'm thinking, well, I wonder what got him into it. Like, what made him think Shakespeare is something that I really love? And then I realized, that's what he was going for. A little Shakespeare in love action. That's the Gwyneth Paltrow.
Shopping skills.
But I didn't Photoshop Gwyneth Paltrow into that photo. That's genuinely her. This is pre-candle. Boris was the one exploding in that particular scenario. Now, I did look back because I didn't know he was an author. I mean, I'd known that he'd written stuff, and I knew that he'd gotten fired for lying numbers of times, but I didn't know he'd written novels as well. And so I started to look back into the books and think, well, if he's written all these books, he's prime minister. Well, what's going on here? So this is one of his books here. I don't know if you've seen this one, Lend Me Your Ears. But I guess he does need people to lend him their ears or to lend him anything, just £5, just to help him meet the costs because he's struggling to pay back that advance. And I can see why he's struggling, even with all these books that he sold, because if you look there, 82 pence for the paperback version of that.
I mean, how much more expensive than that.
I was going to say, how much is your book on Amazon, Steve? I mean,
yeah, I think the old ones are 99p, and the still relatively current one is, I've no idea. I think we're at 150, 250, something like that. Okay, I'm going to drop the price tomorrow. Good point.
That's a little disappointing for the Prime Minister, for Christ's sake. Some other books that he wrote back in the day, Life in the Fast Lane. This looks like a younger Boris Johnson there. He's got more hair. It's heavier hair. It's not the thin, older hair. Clearly, this is a book about the car that Daddy almost bought me. I don't know quite what's going on there, but he's got the steering wheel. Eventually, maybe he can afford the rest of the car. Maybe that's why he needed to finish the other book. I don't know if this is all associated with money. He's got this book here, I like to think is sort of his Edinburgh Fringe phase, right? The name of the book is Have I Got Views for You? Because that's often what happens when you do an Edinburgh show is you come up with a name that's similar to something else that exists, and you call your show that. You know, sort of like if there was a radio show called The Moral Maze, and you did that.
Oh dear. Oh, I've lost you sound-wise.
Have you?
I got you back.
You really?
You're back, yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to admit that. My first Edinburgh show was called The Brit Identity because I'm very much like Bourne, the Bourne Identity. See what I did
is
there?
That what it's? I'd never got that one. Okay.
Never got that. No one ever saw the show, to be honest. No, people did see that show, but they didn't see the one that came after it. Another one here, if you're wondering what's the truth behind all of Boris's kids? How has he had so many? Well, now we know. Wow. 72 virgins. That was his focus there. I mean, if you go out with 72 virgins, somebody's gonna get pregnant. I mean, it's just inevitable.
I always think that's weird because actually that's not what you imagine virgins are like. You go out with 72 virgins, you'll have a great night of Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, that's true. It depends on who the virgins are. I mean, if it's some of the virgins that he was in university with, I don't have the photo of him in that tuxedo with David Cameron. They weren't getting any back then.
Because it doesn't count with a pig.
It does not count with a pig. But with a chicken, on the other hand, you might get a little bit of salmonella, but you get those soft feathers against your cheek.
But it's only a poultry act. Don't be foul. How did we not do all of those earlier? Too late.
I didn't. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I missed Fox in the Henhouse. Anyway, one more book here. This is where Boris has also been hiding. There he was, just trying to avoid people who were going to ask him about the coronavirus, dreaming of being on holiday. So he's written a lot of books. Maybe we should buy his books so he could focus on being prime minister and get out of this mess. I don't know. I do think, actually, what I'm going to do is I bought Boris a book, and I'm sending it to number 10 tomorrow, and it's right there. Leading the country during a pandemic for dummies. So there we go.
Excellent work.
Although it's a little bit unfair to dummies, because they could do a better job than Boris has done.
Hey-ho,
but
yeah.
I am looking forward to that book about Shakespeare.
He's you're right. So he's written a lot of books. He's also, I didn't realise, but he's actually quite good at works of fiction, like the Manifesto. That's the satire you paid for. So let's just count that as satire. We've done that.
Let's just check. Is anyone paid? No one's paid.
Okay.
No. Tracy, yes, thank you, Tracy, again. Right, we'll catch up on here. We got to Charlotte Read My Ears. Mine's a Scotch, thanks. That was previous stuff. I'm not quite sure where we were at there. Well, Steve did look a lot like a 40-plus Jedward a few episodes back.
Yeah, when I had superimposed hair.
Oh, yes. There we go. Was that my hair?
No, the one where I was doing my speech to Gen Zs, as I...
Oh, yes. Okay. Because we had my hair floating around for a while.
Yeah, I think it was on the live show, wasn't it?
That was the live show.
Not that this isn't live, but when we just sat here and waffled for 4 hours.
That was the extra live show. Stephen says, I wasn't feeling up to destroying the like button. I have besieged it instead. If that doesn't work, I will take it to Belarus.
I like the idea of doing a war of attrition against the like button. Eventually, it will fold, and you will have liked it.
Oh. Mark says, I think it's more like was reading The Hungry Caterpillar to his girlfriend.
Implying that the girlfriend's young, I think.
That could be what that is. Yes, definitely. She is. Well done, boys. Well done. Chris Hood says, is this an advance I see before me?
Brilliant.
Well done, guys. There, Chris. I Boggit says, wherefore art thou, Boris? Doesn't quite have the same ring to it. Wherefore art thou, Boris?
Although a fellow with infinite jest makes sense.
Yeah. Britt says, I'm reading the chapter with to be or not to bother wearing a mask, keeping space, getting jab. That is the question. It's got to link it all together.
Whether it is nobler, he's not interested. No, other one.
Bojo's post-box tour of the UK. Nice. It too, Cummings. Someone nicked his car.
Yeah, but left the steering wheel. He's like you see those cyclists.
Yeah.
Just take
There we go. Oh, that's why he was so into the Boris bikes. Because Dad never got him a full car. Nikki says he actually wrote some really good books about classics, but I haven't read any of them, so I can't comment.
Well, that's what you studied at university, isn't it? The classics. If only you would have just stayed at that, studying what happened at ancient Greece. Would have been better for all of us.
Because Greece ended up really well with the kind of leadership he's learned.
Yeah. Actually, that's true. When you said he hadn't gone this far back in history to William Shakespeare before, probably did. All that ancient Greek stuff.
All that Greek stuff.
I'm not Googling it. I think it's before.
He's waiting to write that one for when the asteroid hits the Earth.
Oh, nice.
It's got to have something to do. Chris says, if you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we drop you off in Belarus?
New T-shirt for tonight's show, just Belarus. The Belarus tour. Or Stephen Eric's tour, and then just Belarus written on the back, and then just oops.
That's going to be the best stag do destination from now on. Oh, man,
absolutely murdered.
Steven says, pound $1.99 for a Kindle version of your book, Steve.
Is it? I did drop the price then, and that is appropriate.
And you've still never sent me a copy. Let's see. I need a new T-shirt design. Destroy, smash, pummel, crunch, thump, mash the like button.
Nice. If it gets us the likes, we'll do it.
There we go. How are we doing on time? We'll do a couple more of these, and then we've got one more problem, don't we?
Yeah.
Let's see. Finally managed to get up in time to watch you guys. Great show, says Snorkel Reefing. So I don't know where you are, Snorkel.
Reefing.
But thank you for joining us. Britt says, Dream of Rome's 2020 update is Dream of Home. Nice. And Mark says, is that a Brexit deal I see before me? Never end it. What happened to your audio podcast? We're getting customer feedback here. I only just found out the show and was a big fan of your radio show in Kent.
I was a fan of my radio show in Kent as well. I like many things about it.
That was back in the day.
Yeah. I enjoyed the show. I thought it was an innovative way of reviewing the news in a relaxed and friendly way, but also loved having a job. So I miss all of that.
But you've got this.
It was Pete and Benfleet today sent me a message because I had a busy day. Did some talk radio earlier on BBC Shropshire, something or other, BBC Kent, something. And then I think it was Pete who said, no, it wasn't Pete. I can't remember if it was someone said, oh, you must be getting the pounds. Nope. So much of what I do now is for free because just passing time before the bankruptcy hits.
You are getting the pounds, but they're right here.
A lot of that going on.
Yeah. Different pounds. Let's see. We'll do a couple more of these. Says, I only like or dislike. How do you do the besiege thing? Nice. Keith says he has to keep the steering wheel so he can keep changing direction.
Oh, okay. That's the satire you came here for.
Yep. That is definitely, I didn't come up with that. Well done, Keith. He's not from there, though. I've gotten lost now in that. And then, Melbourne. Snorkel Reefing is in Melbourne. So there we go. Wow. There we go. We take the Australian, I don't know what do you guys make money in Australia? Or is it just...
Do they have capitalism over there? I don't know. We'll Google it.
They've been in quarantine, but regardless, it works with Kofi. So We got one more problem. We'll come back to the chats before the end. Steve, what have you got?
This show hopefully solves one of the problems. It's to do with happiness. I think we're all about happiness, making people happy. If you've had a rough day, hey, you got to make people happy. That's what we're all about, right? It's what we do for a living, which is kind of odd because it's been a while since I remember the feeling of happy. It's just emptiness is its closest analog now. Just I can spot the shape where happiness once was and remember. But anyway, we're about being happy times, helping you be happy. Woo woo. Well, it's really good that actually we're not the only ones, because they've done some research and scientists have discovered there is an equation for happiness, which is great, helping people find a way of going towards happiness, which is good. I mean, I'd kind of given up as a goal of ever really achieving it. I just thought, life's just such a miserable struggle these days, and it's not as if anyone's going to give two shits about your happiness. But anyway, staying happy to help you out with comedians. What we do. It's what we do.
Okay.
Would you like to see the equation?
Yes, please.
This is the equation for happiness officially. There it is. I mean, wowzers.
Jesus.
A lot of people look at that and think it's confusing. Elon Musk looks at that and thinks, oh, cute name. But happiness is a function of T, I know that much, equals W0. Now, this is from the Daily Mail, by the way. Quick side note, Daily Mail. This is where I got the screenshot from. W0 plus W1, and then the sigma means it's a sum between J equals 1 and J equals T of that particular thing. And then the next one, plus W1, different sum, plus W3. That middle one's meant to be a W2. They got it. They didn't even proofread the equation. The Daily Mail don't even want people to be happy. That makes sense. That checks out. So look at that. That is the equation to do with happiness. I've been studying that equation. Don't feel much happier. It's weird. Not really sure when it's meant to kick in. It's a kind of strange one. Yeah. Look, even as someone who enjoys an equation every so often, that was a bit confusing. I'm more of an integral guy than a sum guy, so it looks like an absolute mess. But thankfully, the newspaper headline sums it up for us. Is this the secret to happiness? Scientists say the key to being content is lowering your expectations. And I think I'd already achieved that, but not so far that it leaves you miserable. I knew I'd overshot it. Bloody hell, because if the secret to happiness was lowering your expectations, I would have been cock-a-bloody-hoop. But apparently I've taken it too far. But I don't know, I think lowering your expectations is a really good move. Like, if you expect things to go a little bit pear-shaped, that's just how the world is. Like, if someone says, oh, congratulations, you won the lottery, I'd be one of those people who went off the rails with it. Or if I found a bag of money, there's no way that's not linked to a criminal who's coming for it. If I'm in a bar, some sexy lady chats me up, well, this is some sort of a Russian sting and I don't want to get poisoned tonight. I think I've got it right. I've got a good sense of how bad things can be. I say that, I didn't predict a fucking pandemic, but in general, I was pretty good at working out how bad things could be. And that's why I don't need that equation. I'd go as far as to say that equation is utter rubbish. It's not really helped you, has it, Eric? It's just pointless. No. And I think this is these researchers are just making this up. So, to find out more, I'm joined by a scientist who researches happiness. Hello.
Hello, Steve.
That equation's just a load of rubbish.
I think the research is telling us that you should lower your expectations for things such as, I don't know, say, the usefulness of research that one gets from a university. But don't lower it so low that you cut off my funding, the funding. And if you hit that sweet spot, then I think we could be very happy.
It's all about you. So what about an equation that makes me happy?
Well, there is an equation that could get you happiness. I wasn't going to tell you this, but there we go. A to the power of n plus b to the power of n equals c to the power of n, where c equals chirpiness, b is buoyancy, and a is happiness. And if you can solve that, find the integers that solve that when n is greater than 2, you will find the secret to happiness.
Oh my God, so if I can simply find a solution to this where n's greater than 2 and these are all integers, I'll finally get to be happy. After all this time, I can finally get to be happy. I'm going to dedicate my life to this.
Wait! I found it! I found it!
No, forgot to carry the one. Balls.
And scene.
Wow.
Acting.
You're looking good.
Yeah, thank you. I
looking
think
good.
that might be the best Fermat's Last Theorem joke you get on a topical streaming comedy show.
Was that an actual formula you showed us?
It's a big famous one. So Fermat, and it might be pronounced Fermat, I don't know. I'd never hear it said.
You're safe with me.
Yeah. So he comes up with a theory, that equation, and he just writes down in the side of his notes, there is no integer value solution for n greater than 2. And says it's obvious, or the proof is written elsewhere and it's not written elsewhere, and it's taken hundreds of years for scientists to actually prove he was right. But that means there is no, like the thing I would have been searching for in that scene, the integer value where n's greater than 2, never would have found it. And in many ways, that sketch points out that the desire to chase happiness is ultimately futile, and you will waste your life doing it.
And thanks for watching. Make sure to smash that like button.
I wasn't having the happiest day when that came along. I was like, I'm going full in on this.
But I would think lowering expectations and just being a bit miserable, that's essentially life in the UK.
Why are we not happier? Have we ever done it?
But that's the whole thing. We are happy being unhappy. That's why Brexit had to happen.
It was inevitable. Like Skynet going live. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're all going to die, but hey, we get some good movies out of it.
Let's get stuck into some of the comments. Just seen Mark says wrinkly method. That also probably could have been sent to us on some of the clips Eric used to post that had full nudity. How did we not get in trouble for your full nudity pic? Oh. I'm not going to tell you which episodes they were, because if you want to go and find them, good luck. Watch all the hours of stuff that we've done.
Watch all the hours. Just, if you don't mind, just have us on in the background.
Yeah, just let it stream. Turn the volume almost all the way down. I bug it. He's got the window one. He's got the window wonder in his pocket in case he gets hot. It probably like the window winder. Is that what you're going for? So he's got the Boris Johnson holding a steering wheel and a window winder. That's good, like a Norman Collier bit. Oof, says Boggett. I'm not sure which joke we've done that offended, but some of them probably. Nikki says I was still talking about Boris. But I can see you've moved on now. Oh, right. So, yes, it is confusing. Steve says, Chris Hood, I'd offer you a hug, but I like my nose where it is. Fine without hugs. No need for them. I forgot to carry the one, says I bug it. Yep. That's the only reason I couldn't solve Fermat's Last Theorem. Forgot to carry the one.
Yep. Just got to lower your expectations.
Damn it. My expectations need to be less than or equal to x, where x is the current state of expectations. That's why it's called expectations. Bayerberg says, looks like things my doctor writes on the prescription. Keep taking them. Keep taking them.
Yep. You get happy.
iBoggett says they're writing their own jokes now. That's what we do, isn't it? I've got very confused about the purposes of the show, if that's not what we do.
I think he's talking about the comments.
Oh, good. Tracy, what was that, Steve? You want to cock a hoop? Blimey, times must be tough. If I could fit in a hoop. No, hang on. Britt says, so is making sure you aim low, just don't actually crash the plane. Yep. iBoggett says, I'm searching for happiness. And
happiness.
Stephen Leatherdale, I tried that happiness equation in Excel. It gave me an error saying that it was a semicircular reference. Ooh, get recursive up there. Oh dear. If lowering your expectations makes you happier, why am I not happy that we have a useless government? Hashtag satire, says Mark Randall. Yes.
Yeah.
The most satirical show we've done this one.
Because the problem is they've gone too far. They tipped. Brexit would have been fine, but then adding the pandemic, they overplayed their hand.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Nikki says, I enjoyed that. You inspired me to do better always. Yes, always do better maths. Always double check your subscript letters. Daily Mail, put in W1. And all of those
What a
readers,
shock.
all of those readers who read that equation are going to get it wrong and never know what happiness is now.
It's almost like reading the Daily Mail won't make you happy.
It's almost like they want their readers to be angry. So
That
much
can't
so
be
that
right.
they deliberately changed the subscript of one of the products.
I think your doppelganger works for the Daily Mail. It's like, let's see if anybody notices if I change this to a 3. That's what you sound like.
Yeah, this is spot on. Eric, I love the way you pretend to know what Steve is talking about, says Tracy.
10 years of this. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, we're going to talk about maths now.
Brit says maths equals Z, 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 Z. Well, why don't you just put Z cubed? Oh, it's to the 4th power, is it? Oh, the way.
No, that means, Steve, that means...
It's just Z raised to the 4th
It
power.
means...
It's just exponential.
That's what it means.
Maths
That's what it means.
is
It's not Z's.
That
It's
Brit.
not Z, it's not 4 Z's.
I've got to keep that joke. That's got to work. A lot of people think maths is this, Z, 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 Z. But actually, Z to the power of 4 would be the same. You can see Eric's eyes glaze over, slowly glaze over, says Mark. And Chris says to Mark, as a bubble slowly rises up the lava lamp.
Yep.
iBoggit is either happy with the idea of Z to the power of 3 and put an exclamation mark after it, or actually means Z to the power of 3 factorial.
Wow. You've managed to do a superscript in the comments section.
Yeah.
Is that right? Superscript when it goes higher?
Yeah. But that's brilliant. Z to the power of 3 factorial. You'd need to use the gamma function to be able to work out what that is.
Jesus.
Oh my God. That's some good maths. Any fans of the gamma function, hit that, smash that like.
Oh, our likes are plummeting. What a surprise. Oh, dear. Yeah, well, now that we've put everyone to sleep, good night, everyone. Think of Steve's equation.
Z to the power of 4.
You should do some ASMR maths. If that woman can do ASMR Wonder Woman, you can do ASMR maths.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. And then we integrate E
No.
to the power of X.
That was so much. Get out of my ear.
And the integral is E to the power of X plus C,
I'm taking you out of my ear. Stop
constant
it.
of integration.
Oh. Ugh.
I feel good. Charlotte, if you're still watching, which would you rather have? ASMR maths, factorial, or singing? I mean, I got all the offers.
I'm disgusted and aroused.
Aren't they the same thing?
If you do it right with the chickens, yes.
iBoggit
Right.
says, I think I just sinned.
And that should be a t-shirt that we put out. We're nearly at the end. Dear God, I hope we're at the end. We are back this Thursday, and then we'll be back next Thursday.
Whichever comes first.
Correct. So we are taking next Tuesday off, and then after that, we're moving to Wednesdays. Does the Daily Mail do a formula about that? No, they don't.
If they get it wrong deliberately.
Yeah, they would. So we're here this Thursday, then a week. You'll have to wait a week for us. So just make sure you come this Thursday to give yourself that extra boost of comedy.
Vic Min says, I have been watching, I just haven't said anything. And that is still the only thing they've said in the comment section.
Thank you, Vic. Appreciate that.
Brit says, ASMR maths with background banana munching. Oh, Struth.
Well, whatever it was, it worked because Chris just made a really nice Ko-fi donation. So
Thank you.
I think we know what Chris H will say has been looking for all this time.
Gollum does maths. Oh, let's think of some maths phrase.
Oh, it's because we're differentiating.
What other complex numbers? There's no good phrases there.
There's no good phrases in maths.
It's
There's
the
none.
Mandelbrot sets.
There you go. Mandelbrot set's beautiful. Get stuck into that maths. And next time I'll bring one of those in instead of jokes.
Did you think about this? But our YouTube contract's about to expire. Our license is up. We gotta go.
It's because we're stupid.
Mark says he's just been transported back to the Open University in 1974.
Yeah.
Professor Gollum.
Nice. Professor Gollum does maths. Charlotte says, "Oh no, please no banana munching to Brit. It's going to happen. It's going to be singing. There's going to be banana munching and ASMR maths." Bayerberg says, "ASMR maths. Done that when I was adding up how much I lost on Dogecoin. Dogecoin, dude. Sounded like a Swedish metal band." And Vic Min says, "Thank you for shouting me out. I feel famous." Yes. You're on the show.
Yep, that's it. You're part of the family now. We will never let you go.
Mandelbrot set, does that come with cutlery, says Chris Curling. Well, interestingly, there are forks. Because around the Mandelbrot set, if you zoom in on the edge, there's little the little spiky bits that stick off the big circles of the Mandelbrot set and they've got like the Fibonacci sequence buried in their symmetry, but they look like little forks. So actually, Chris, yeah, there is cutlery.
See, what you guys don't realize is that the live stream will end soon, and then he's going to keep telling me about this.
Yeah. Tynes says Chris Hood Tynes. Oh, it's a good pun because it's like a fork and it's almost like the word times, which is like maths.
Yep. I've just gone to my happy place now.
I'm
just thinking about my
happy
chickens.
place now. I've got some math. Oh dear. Right, I think we're sorted.
I can't make it stop streaming because you're in control, so we just have to keep going until you run out of math.
iBoggit just said fract checked. Is that like a fact checked mixed with the fact that they're fractals? Have you just done a great fractal pun as well in the comment section? Damn, this is a thing. People are going to refer back to this as the day when human evolution just notched up an extra few more IQ points.
I'll do a clip of this. When we do our extra clips of the show, which is Show Watch, we'll do a maths one. Yeah. See how it does. We'll have to translate it to math for Americans because they won't understand the extra S for.
They're stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, they're too busy with their chickens.
Beautiful. And then Brit throws a chocolate pocket at us at the end. Chocolate Pocket Land is Eric's happy place.
Much better. I feel safer there. I'm just going to go wrap myself in a chocolate pocket now.
For people who've never watched this show or, missed all that, we have so many catchphrases that people must think, what's that about? And why do they keep talking about chocolate pockets? And I'm sorry to say, exactly the reason you guess. If you have a guess of why we're saying chocolate pocket, yeah, that was it.
That's it. But you can go back and watch it in the background. Just leave it playing. Yeah. You need the hours.
Nikki says, thanks for letting me watch you both tonight. God, that sounded creepier than it needed to.
Who's that person over there? There's someone in my house. Nikki? No. All right. We'll be back on Thursday. Thank you for watching. Please share the show. Subscribe. Buy us a drink. You've done very well on the like button. Thank you for that. If you've been holding back to wait for the final product, right now is your chance to smash it!
There is no more goods. This is as good as it gets.
Did I spike? Was that too close?
No, I think it was good. Brilliant. So, yeah, till next time. Whichever comes first.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this from Comic Solving Problems.
And if you feel like it, go ahead and like the video.
Or subscribe. Commitment.